So I have two openings in mind. Number one is this, we have the ears. Well, it's meant to be an ear anyways, just pretend that's an ear. Then we have like the earrings here. Right, so first idea is to have just the Potara earrings in shot. They glow, and then we slowly reveal Goku and Vegeta. Well, this is meant to be Goku and Vegeta. Idea number two is to just simply have them like wearing the Potara earrings, they glow, and then the whole like process happens. I'll decide what to do with all this later. At the moment, I'm just going to animate the rest of the fusion process. Alright, this looks very all over the place right now, but okay, I'll kind of like briefly explain my idea. So it's meant to expand like that. And then all these get sucked into one point, and then once all the energy is into this white circle here, this is when Vegito forms. Not a very good Vegito, but just bear with me here. That's when Vegito emerges. That's when the camera pulls like way back over here. And Vegito powers up, shows off his energy. That's it for the moment. Like, obviously it's nowhere near complete, but I know what it's meant to look like. And it's going to look like that when I'm done. So here I've made a decision. I've decided to stick with this one. So I'm just kind of fixing this up. And I realized that two mistakes that I've been making when drawing like the Daima characters, especially in my last video. So something that I noticed that I did here with Vegeta is I drew his hair coming out of his neck here. That's usually how it works for the adults, but it just doesn't work with Daima. It just looks all like big, and I don't know what else to describe. Yeah, so I googled the Daima designs, and actually Vegeta's hair comes out of his ears like that. And that's the power of using references. Another thing that I found is that, especially in my last video, I drew Goku's jaw, like, even though he was a kid, I actually drew Goku's jaw with like points and all that. Like, I drew like a sharp jaw. Tried to round it off. Now, I didn't actually realize how round the jaws of the Dragon Ball Daima characters like actually are, but turns out a lot rounder than I made it. So yeah, just wanted to give that update just to let you know that if you did see that in the last video, I am fixing it. Or at least I've fixed it in this video anyways. So we're going to turn the opacity of that down because... okay, no. Also, I'm pretty sure the eyes are meant to be rounder as well. Now, the nose. Right now, let's just sort out the earrings. Why does it look strange? It's like, okay, what if, maybe if their mouths just like aren't connected like that, and then like, there you go, now they look like individual. Or maybe instead, Vegeta's mouth can go down like this. There we go. And you already know we are going to make a loop out of it. But before I do that, I did mention earlier that the animation was going to start off with the glowing Potara earrings in front of a completely black background. So I wanted to do that first before moving on. And now, Potara earrings can be like white. Boom, starts off like that, they glow, reveals them. I am so stupid, I just deleted the frame with like the line that like separates the faces. Alright, there we go. What if, boom, we do that. And then, there we go. And now we go back to working on the loop. We're not going to make drastic changes in the hair for the loop. We're just gonna make very subtle, not subtle changes, but softer changes than... Am I making sense? Like that. Not a very drastic change. And that's frame number 2. Right, finish this, we're going to move on to the next part, the actual fusion process. And because there's not going to be much animation character-wise, I'm probably going to try and go more heavy on the effects on this side here, or on this part. I don't know why I said this side. That's Vegeta. And this is Goku. And now we have them basically fly into each other like that. So I'm not sure what the end point of this lightning is meant to look like, right? However, what's going to happen with this lightning is Okay, it's starting to look a little bit spastic, I'm not sure if I like that. But anyways, as I was saying, what's going to happen with this lightning is it's going to eventually like expand, like spread out like this, and then it's all going to get sucked into this one point, and then that's when it's going to really like explode. So very long story short, I just never got that sequence to work, but I kept the lightning because I think it looks sick. However, by itself didn't look like enough to me, so instead I tried to figure out what to put with the lightning to finish this part here. Right, so a little bit of an update. I deleted that part because it was doing the most while simultaneously achieving like absolutely nothing. So I spent the last like what 2 or 3 hours just trying different things, and this is what I got so far. We got the lightning just to start it off, you know, also the background I made darker because I think it just looks cooler than this. And then we start to have this bit of aura just like swirling from the orb here. And the main inspiration for this is like when they fuse in Dragon Ball Super Broly, like when Gogeta comes out, they have that blue and orange thing. I'll put a picture up. But yeah, I also didn't want to just straight up copy that as well, so also it just seems like such a fusion thing to do. Does that make sense? Right, and this is how it looks in motion. And I am definitely keeping that because, yeah. And now the plan from here is to have it all burst into like a tower of energy pretty much. So in addition to this tower of energy, how are we feeling about even more lightning effects? Kind of like this. Maybe if the lightning is thicker, like a little more pronounced. I think I have just one more idea. Something I want to try and add might make the tower look like really cool. So I made a few changes, as you can see, to the background and also to the landscape over here. And this is how it looks at the moment. I might extend it in some places, probably make this part like play out a little longer. So I'm just looking at the Dragon Ball Daima designs just to kind of understand what Vegito would look like, and he's pretty much going to look the same because Vegeta looks the same. The only difference would probably be like Goku's little thing here and his power pole, which is all good. Shouldn't be too hard to remember. Now the plan for this shot is to have Vegito basically fly up from his tower of energy here into a power up pose, kind of like just give me a second here. Maybe something like this, and then we're going to zoom out into, there we go, maybe something like that. Alright, a little bit of a rough start on this part here, but we'll figure it out as we go along, and it's going to get better. Maybe not. I'm a little stuck for this part, I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure what to do. What if we did something like this? Okay. So I kind of changed my mind. I'm going back to something like this. Right, so all I need to do now is just change the direction. Okay. Now if we cycle this, it should look pretty decent. I think I'll probably change this last one. I don't like the look of this frame here. It just looks a bit... I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm just going like just random directions. So what if we go like boom, like that? Now I have a life hack. What if we take this over to Procreate and then instead we can use this thing? By the way, yes, I do use Procreate. I just don't use it to make animations. I just find it like way too confusing. However, if you do want to see a video on that, then let me know. By the way, if you're wondering, that's where I got this like little background effect from. And I'm gonna add lightning because, yeah, I feel like it would be strange to not add lightning here considering every other part of the animation does. I'm this far into the animation and I'm still not sure if the glow around the lightning should be light blue or just straight up white. I have a plan to make this lightning look better, but in case it doesn't, I'm just gonna save this layer anyways. What if I just have the lightning take like a more strange path? Rather than just like straight down or straight aside like this, I can make it like, almost like wrap around it actually. It's a little hard to see when the lightning's white, and so is like the ball. And I'm out here complaining about it like I didn't make that decision. Okay, now I just need to put like the blue, okay. Now I just need to put like the blue all around it, and then we're gonna see how it looks. I'm pretty hopeful for this attempt. I think it looks a lot better. I think probably just given the fact that like, I think the individual frames of this. Alright, see how this looks. Yeah, I think it's fair to say I'm done with this part. I then proceeded to spend the next 6+ hours either trying to figure out what to put next or actually trying a few different things and deleting them because they look terrible. However, I finally came up with an idea that I ended up sticking with, and that was to add a little spin around shot, kind of inspired by Vegeta's Super Saiyan transformation against Broly. And to end off the final sequence, I needed a shot with Vegito's entire body in frame, and for some strange reason, I decided to pick this angle. I don't even know what this angle is called, but this is it. Anyways, attempt number 1. But then I started to make some changes. I also realized a massive problem as well is like these two front things of hair. Also, I made a change to the face here. I didn't realize how big of a change it was until I like looked back. Insert fart meme sound. I also feel like I could just extend this part here. You know what I mean? Like bring this out just a little bit further. I might just redraw the legs as well. Maybe I'm probably also going to shorten this bit here. And here's all the changes that we've made. Pretty cool. Finally, holy fuck. So many times I've redrawn those legs and I thought they look okay, but then I look back at them, they just look wrong somehow. But this, I can get behind this. I actually like this. I then used this to finish the rest of the animation, even made impact frames for it, wrapped up the recording, and then I lived happily ever after. But that was until I came back to it a couple hours later. All was going well until my stupid ass decided to start playing around with the proportions again. Now why is that a bad thing? Well, because I ended up with this, what you're looking at right now. Now once again, why is that a bad thing? You'll ask that until you look at the difference. Now here's the thing, you can't even chalk this up to the weird angle I drew him in or the kid proportions. He just looks fat. I have two choices. Either leave him fat or go through all of these frames again, but like this. Now I'm sure you already know which one I'm going to choose. It is going to suck, but I think it is going to be worth it. I just don't know if I'll be able to forgive myself if I leave him like this now. So I've finally fixed this loop here, but when I tell you the most painful part of this entire operation was redoing this frame here. This fat frame. Man, that sucked. However, I did mention that I redid it and it looks much better, so we can now just get rid of this. Here are my final changes. I added a white glowing background behind Goku and Vegeta to transition between these two shots, kind of to properly show that the fusion process has started, because anything to avoid drawing them touch meets. 2. Just to make Vegeta's reveal a little more powerful, I added these lightning and wind effects, and finally I made the camera shake in certain parts of the animation. And with all that being said, here is the animation of the video. Enjoy.